Everything is about to break. Friends turning enemies. Secrets bubbling to the surface. The city is watching, and so are we. The chi has never been this tense. Every move in episode 9 felt like someone lighting a fuse, and in episode 10, it finally explodes. This isn't just another finale. This is personal. For Emmett, for Victor, for Douda, for all of them. And when the smoke clears, not everyone will be standing. Asterisk, let's rewind just enough to see how we got here. And why the final episode might change everything. Asterisk Season 7 has been building like a storm rolling in slowly. The characters we've grown with aren't just surviving anymore, they're making hard choices, and in some cases, losing themselves in the process. Asterisk, let's start with Emmett and Keisha. From broken trust and hurt, these two have come a long way to trying to build something real together. But the pressure around them is crushing. Emmett is still caught in Douda's world, and that's putting his whole family at risk. It's more than just business. It's life or death. He tried to play both sides, stay clean while staying loyal, but now he's learning, you can't serve two masters. And Keisha, she is worn out. She's tired of living in fear, tired of watching Emmett spiral, and tired of pretending they're safe. That quiet look she gave him in episode 9. That said everything. She wants out, even if he's not ready to let go. Asterisk, then there's Douda, the snake in the grass, always moving in silence until it's too late. He's been tightening his grip all season. He's made enemies out of almost everyone. And now, he's paranoid. He has no faith in anyone, not even his own family. He's out here setting traps, cleaning up loose ends, and pushing people into corners. But the more he pushes, the more dangerous it gets for him. The walls are closing in, and he knows it. Asterisk, Victor, formerly known as Trig, is another man walking a dangerous line. He stepped into politics to make a change, to be something different, but power comes with a price. His image is built on lies, and those lies are catching up to him. His secret relationship, his past connections, his loyalties, all of it is about to be exposed. And once the truth comes out, the people he tried to help might be the ones who turn against him. Asterisk, and let's not forget Bakari. His story this season has been heartbreaking. You can feel he wants something more, something better. But the streets keep pulling him back in. He is going through real trauma and pain. And in the midst of the chaos, he is trying to figure out who he is. Episode 9 showed us glimpses that maybe there's still hope for him. But in this world, hope is dangerous. And it never comes without sacrifice. Asterisk, Gemma and Jake are going through it too. Growing up in a world like theirs isn't easy. Gemma is attempting to control her life and future, but doing so comes at a cost. Jake, meanwhile, is still stuck in survival mode, trying to figure out what it means to be a man, to protect, to provide, to stand tall. Their love is real, but real love doesn't always survive real life. Asterisk, so now, all the pieces are on the board. They've arrived here because of everyone's choices. Some are ready to fight. Some are ready to run. And some don't even know what's coming. Asterisk, episode Sapulo isn't just the end of a season. It's a test. Of loyalty. Of love. Of who these people really are when everything falls apart. Asterisk. Emmett is not the same man we met back in season 1. He's grown. He's tried to be a better father, a better partner, and someone his community can count on. But there's one decision that keeps haunting him. The deal he made with Douda. That deal. That handshake. That moment when he chose fast money over freedom. That's the root of everything falling apart now. Asterisk, at first, Douda seemed like an opportunity. A lifeline. A shortcut to level up his business. But if there's one thing the streets always teach, it's this. Nothing comes free. And Emmett's been paying the price ever since. Slowly, quietly, and now loudly. Asterisk, in episode 9. We saw the tension between them boiling. Emmett's fear is turning into anger. His silence is starting to crack. He's seen too much, done too much, and now, he knows the only way out of this is to go through Douda. Asterisk, but let's be real, going up against Douda, that's suicide. Asterisk, Douda isn't just a drug dealer. He's not just a puppet master. He's a killer. He controls people through fear, loyalty, and manipulation. And Emmett isn't built like that. Or at least, he wasn't. But now, the man who used to run from problems is thinking about running straight into the fire. Asterisk, why? Because Keisha scared his kids are in danger. And Douda crossed the line when he brought that violence too close to home. Asterisk, the real question is What is Emmett willing to do to protect what he loves? Will he finally work with someone, maybe even Rob, or an unlikely ally, to take Douda down from the inside? Or will he try to handle it himself and end up becoming the very thing he's running from? And here's the biggest twist that could come. What if Emmett kills Douda? It sounds wild, but think about it. Douda's death would flip the whole show upside down. It would throw the street into chaos. It would shake up every relationship, especially with people like Victor, who still has ties to Douda, and Rob, who has his own grudges. But Emmett pulling the trigger wouldn't just be about revenge, it would be about freedom. Finally breaking the chain. Finally protecting his family in a permanent way. And if it happens, it won't be clean. It won't be heroic. It'll be messy, emotional, maybe even tragic. Or maybe it's Douda who makes the first move. Maybe he finds out Emmett's trying to flip. Maybe he sends someone after Keisha or uses Tiff to get inside his head. That's how Douda works. He doesn't just hurt people. He makes you destroy yourself. Whatever happens, this showdown is coming. Emmett versus Douda. Not just a fight for survival, but a fight for Emmett's soul. One thing is clear. Only one of them walks away clean. Victor is a man caught between two worlds. On one side, he's the politician, the changed man trying to bring hope to his community. On the other, he's still Trig, the street survivor with blood on his hands, secrets in his closet, and a long list of people who remember who he really is. He's worked hard to clean up his image, to look like a man the people can trust. He wears the suit. He smiles at the camera. He says the right things. But let's be honest, this version of Victor isn't the whole truth. And in the truth never stays buried for long. In episode 9, the pressure started building. The cracks in Victor's public image are showing. The people around him are asking harder questions. Enemies are whispering in dark corners. His relationship, the one he's kept in the shadows, is threatening to become public. And if it does, it could cost him everything. But here's the real danger. It's not just about love. It's about control. The second someone like Douda or a political rival finds out about Victor's secrets, they'll use them as leverage. That is the contest. That's how power works in Chicago and in politics. So what happens in episode 10? One possibility is that Victor's secret is revealed, either accidentally or through betrayal. And instead of denying it or running from it, he stands up and owns it. Full truth, full transparency. It would be risky. It might lose him votes. But it might also give him something more powerful: authenticity. Because in a city where so many people lie to survive, telling the truth can be revolutionary. On the flip side, maybe he panics. He may attempt to conceal the truth once more. Tries to control the story. That would be the old Trig, the one who fixed problems with silence or violence. If he goes down that path again, it won't just hurt his career. It could cost him his relationships, his community, even his safety. Because let's not forget, Douda still knows who Victor really is. And he's the type to cash in favors. At the worst possible moment, there's also the question of redemption. Can Victor finally become the leader he promised he'd be? Not just someone who talks about change, but someone who lives it, who risks everything to be the example. The finale could be his moment. He might give a speech that shifts everything. He might take a loss that humbles him. Or if the writers go bold, he might sacrifice his political future to do the right thing. Something the old Trig would never have done. Whatever happens, Victor is standing at a crossroads. And whichever path he chooses will define not just his future, but maybe the future of the Chi itself. Bakari has always been one of those characters that hits different. He's not the loudest. He's not the biggest. But every time he shows up on screen, there's a weight behind his silence, a pain that you can't ignore. This season, the Chi gave us more of his layers. And as we approach episode 10, the big question is, will Bakari escape the streets? Or will the streets finally take him? All season long, we've watched Bakari wrestle with himself. One minute, he's joking with Papa or trying to keep it cool with Linny. The next, he's pulled into drama, fights, and street politics. It's like he wants out, but doesn't know how to leave without looking weak. And that's the trap. That's the exact cycle the show has been shining a light on from the beginning. Bakari isn't bad, he's broken. He's been through things no kid should go through. He's grown up in a world where pain is passed down like hand-me-down clothes, where loyalty gets you killed, and love gets you hurt. And now, he's standing at that edge. He can either step into something better or fall all the way in. In episode 9, we got hints from both sides. On the one hand, he is still hanging out with people who cause problems, is still close to trouble, and is still stuck in the mode of survival. On the other hand, there's Linny. She sees the real him. She wants more for him. She believes he's better than what the world sees. That moment they shared, soft, real, vulnerable, it wasn't just about young love. It was a glimpse into the life Bakari could have, if he makes it out. But can he? Here's the prediction. Episode 10 is going to test Bakari like never before. There could be a major event, a robbery gone wrong, a fight between crews, or a move made by Douda's people that drags Bakari into the center of the storm. He might be asked to prove himself, to opt for violence, to betray someone. And that choice, that might be the turning point. One path leads to a body bag. The other, if he's strong enough, leads to real change. Maybe he walks away, maybe he even helps bring someone like Douda down from the inside. Or perhaps he bears the burden for someone else. A heartbreaking sacrifice to protect Linny, Papa, or even someone like Emmett's kid. Whatever happens, it's going to hurt, because Bakari's journey is the story of so many young people. Too smart to die young, but too scarred to live free. That's why his fate matters. Not just for the plot, but for the message. The streets aren't fair. The game isn't loyal, but sometimes, with enough love and enough pain, a person can find a way out. Let's hope Bakari finds his. Let's be real, the Chi doesn't play it safe. When the stakes rise, somebody usually falls. And heading into episode 10, it feels like we're being set up for something heavy. A loss, a shift, a death that changes everything. So who's not making it out? Let's start with the obvious, Douda. He's made too many enemies, pushed too many people, and doubled down on violence at every turn. He's paranoid, ruthless, and surrounded by people ready to snap. Emmett wants him gone. Rob doesn't trust him. Even Victor has reasons to see him fall. It wouldn't be a surprise if episode 10 ends with Douda finally catching the bullet. He's dodged for years, but here's the twist, it might not be who dies, but how? What if it's someone close to Douda who pays the price first? Someone like Nook, who's loyal but not bulletproof. Or Rob, who is straddling the line between fear and ambition. A death in that circle could cause the Empire to collapse from the inside. It could be the trigger that finally pushes Emmett or Victor to act. Or maybe, it's someone we don't expect. Keisha is at risk. She's been strong, but she's also vulnerable. If Douda wants to hurt Emmett, she's the easiest target. A move like that wouldn't just be cruel, it would be war. And it would absolutely push Emmett past the point of no return. Another possibility. Papa, he's not in the game, but he's close to people who are. His kindness, his faith, it makes him the type of person the streets swallow without warning. If something happens to Papa, the whole community would feel it. It would be the kind of loss that reminds everyone that no one is safe. That no one is protected. The hard truth is that episode 10 almost certainly will kill someone. Someone big. Someone we care about. And that death will open the door for season 8 to go somewhere darker. Which brings us to the final scene. Let's predict it. The screen fades to black. A single gunshot. Maybe we don't see who it hits. Or maybe we do, and we wish we hadn't. Or maybe it ends in silence. A knock on a door. A slow pan to someone bleeding. A phone ringing and no one answering. Something that leaves us holding our breath, with no answers. Just questions. Another possibility. A jump in time. We jump ahead, 6 months, a year, and everything has changed. New power players. Old faces missing. New threats rising. And a city still struggling to heal. That kind of cliffhanger would be bold, but the Chi has never been afraid to take big swings. Either way. One thing is certain. The final moments of episode 10 will leave us talking, wondering, maybe even angry. But that's what great storytelling does. It makes us feel something. So buckle up. The finale isn't just the end of a season. It's the start of a war, and only the strong will survive it.